What's up, everybody? Welcome to an episode of Guardians. I'm your host, Justin Latta, and we'll get right to it today. We got a guest joining us this week. It is none other than Guardians pitching prospect Will Dion. Will, thanks for joining us this week.
Absolutely. It's actually exciting to be here.
Yeah, we're excited to have you. You're coming off a really good year in 2023, and 2024, you're going to be awfully close to the big leagues. You should start in Columbus possibly, or if you're in Akron, you might be in Columbus pretty soon. So things are looking good for you, making your major league debut, whether it's this year or next year.
Yeah, I don't think it's hit me as an eye opening. I think once the season kicks off, I think it'll hit me as like, oh man, it's like I'm right there, just like this is like Gavin. So it's gonna be a good.
Yeah, you weren't drafted that long ago. A couple of the guys you were drafted with are already in the major leagues. It does kind of come at you very quick. Before we get into baseball stuff, what are you doing this offseason? What have you been doing that's fun, maybe non-baseball related, how you're trying to unwind and relax your mind and your body a little bit?
Yeah, I ended up getting married this offseason.
Oh, congrats.
Me and my wife went to Antigua in the Caribbean for the honeymoon. That was very relaxing. Didn't have to think about baseball or anything like that. And then we also went duck hunting. So spent a lot of time doing that, playing video games, just trying to stay away from baseball while I'm at home. It was really nice.
That's good. How's the married? I got married back in June of last year. So how's the married life treating you so far?
It's different, but like at the same time, it's like almost similar to dating. You're just like living with someone now, and which is weird for her. But I mean, when I have a roommate every day of the year, it's kind of the same for me. But for her, it's a lot different.
So you're still married, so things are going good. At least you're still married. That's how I always tell people when they ask how you're doing. I'm like, well, we're still married, so I guess I'm doing okay. That's right. I remember you telling me a couple of years ago in Lynchburg, like that was your kind of thing away from baseball was video games. What kind of video games are you playing these days?
I've been playing the new Call of Duty a lot. I actually just bought a new gaming laptop, so I've been on that a lot, and I've been super stoked about it. I've been getting into more. I just bought a bow, so I've been more into bow hunting lately. So trying to get that right.
That's a lot of fun. A lot of stuff you can do to get away from baseball and not worry about that kind of thing. Who do you go duck hunting with? Family, or do you have any teammates who are also into bow and duck hunting?
Yeah, I went with family this season, and then me and Ghost and Doug Nikhazy and a couple other guys. We actually just got off of coyote hunting, but we'll probably be going these couple weeks leading up to spring training, so that'll be fun.
You fit a lot in this off season. That's cool. Are you throwing? Have you not been throwing? I mean, I don't know what is the off season like for a minor league baseball player these days? Because many years ago, it would have been you don't do anything baseball related in the off season. You show up to spring training, and that's how you get your arm into shape. But now everybody's got a throwing program, and you're working on stuff. So what kind of program or where are you at in your off season progression as far as baseball is concerned?
So I did a Driveline throwing program this off season. So it's kind of different for me and the way they went about things. I did a mocap back in October. So I went and did that, and they created a throwing program for me that worked best for me. And then my past injuries, so they kind of worked around that. But it was mainly velo phase, so pull downs, weighted ball velos, all that stuff early in the off season. Now it's getting more into bullpens, like long tossing, and kind of transitioning into more of pitching instead of just trying to throw hard.
Did you go out and seek them out at Driveline, or did Cleveland kind of hook you up with them? How did that come about?
So I went and contacted them, and my agency went and contacted them, and got in touch with this guy named Toby. And I mean, he's been unreal. He's helped me through this whole thing. It's been crazy.
What was it like out there? So you went out to their Seattle or their facility out in what was it, Washington? Is it Seattle? Is it Kent?
I went to Arizona in Scottsdale, and it was super nice. They hooked up I got warmed up. They hooked a bunch of like dots. Like they put like a strip down in your underwear. It's really weird, but like you had to put a bunch of dots all over you, and you're throwing a bullpen, and they get like motion capture, and they see like what you're really good in, what you're really bad in, and like what can we improve. So all that they gave me, and it was extremely helpful what they gave me.
I'm very curious to see what that looks like because I was going to ask you. I don't know what you got to improve on because your numbers were pretty good last year. I mean, the last 2 months of the year, I don't think you gave up more than one run. You were pitching. I mean, and for a lot of guys in Double A, your first time in Double A, you might have worn down. Guys might have gotten used to you, but you were getting better as the season went along. So what are I guess velocity is something you're talking about, but what
Yeah.
exactly are you looking to improve on specifically?
So as like probably everybody realized that I ended up changing the wind up a little bit, and so that was one of the main reasons was I wanted to be able to get used to the new wind up and like what in the new wind up can help me get that extra like tick or two to help me succeed at like the next level and the upper levels. And
Yeah.
So that was mainly what it was, but it was also just like how can my pitches be better in the new windup since I was so used to throwing with that extra hitch and pause. So just getting used to that was extremely weird this offseason. It was a struggle.
Yeah, I was really surprised since you mentioned the windup. I was surprised. I was watching the game and all of a sudden you were out there and you weren't throwing like Clayton Kershaw anymore. Like that's everybody kind of knew you as the Kershaw guy. And I know you told me, a couple years ago in Lynchburg that wasn't ever a thing you were actually going to do in games. It was more of a thing to help you with your commands. Maybe you want to tell that story a little bit again. And also, so I'm guessing you changed your delivery a little bit to try to help your pitches a little better and maybe find a little bit extra velocity is what you're saying.
Yeah, so like the whole point of the pause, it was designed to help my control and like designed to slow me down because I was like super fast down the mound, couldn't really get my arm timed up, and I was like wild, couldn't really get the feel for the strike zone. So my pitching coach Jared Gotro, he like did the pause, slowed me down, and it just stuck with me, and I felt really good with it. And I didn't want to like touch it, leave it alone. Like I just left it because I liked it. And then this past season, I had success with it, and then but then I started getting this nagging knee pain in about I want to say about mid-May, and I like got to a point where I couldn't really walk up the mound. I was in pain, and it got to like August, and I was still fighting it through the whole season. But I didn't want trying to miss a start or anything because of the knee pain, but ended up talking to the pitching group, and they were like, "Look, like, what do we need to do?" And I was like, I think I need to change it. I mean, this is my knee's been bugging me, but I don't want to get rid of it, but also like can't keep doing this like every pitch for 100 pitches. So it's like my knee's just not gonna hold up. And tried it in a bullpen, liked it. Tried different windups, liked the one I stuck with. And the first time I threw it in the game, I was like, all right, we're about to see if this works because the previous time I faced this team, they destroyed me. They hammered me. They hit nukes, doubles, everything off me. I think I gave up like 5 and 3, and then I ended up giving the Sunday start. I ended up giving like 4 and 3 1/3 or something like that. So I mean, that team had my number, and I faced them again with this new windup, and it was like a whole different game, and I felt like really comfortable. So it kind of lifted my spirit up a little bit, and I ended up pitching without pain. So ended up sticking with it.
That's good. I mean, I was looking at your numbers and just it would have been hard to point out like any like watching you pitch through pain or like seeing something that really popped out like that may have suggested you were hurting or something wasn't going right. Like I see you had a tough game in the middle of June against Portland, and then there was like a start against. That was really it. You gave up what 4 runs against Erie at back-to-back starts against Erie, which is always tough. But those were only
That, yeah, that was
three
the
and
two.
four runs.
But
Yeah, really hard to pinpoint where that would have been. I mean,
Yeah.
that makes your season a little more impressive, to be honest, because your numbers. I was going to ask you how you were so remarkably consistent last year, because I feel like first time in Double A, and obviously you're a guy who wasn't lighting up the radar gun, and um, at your size, like you would think that maybe it'd be harder to find consistency, but you have been remarkably consistent. So I was going to ask you how you have been able to find that level. So was part of that changing your delivery, or what else in your routine has helped that you've been able to be consistent in your output?
I mean, I wouldn't say it was like mainly like just changing the delivery. Like it made my pitches better, changing it for sure. But I think me finally understanding of like the hitter tendencies and like what their approach is against me throughout like during the game, and like just talking to the other pitchers, and then Goldberg, the pitching coach at Akron, like he helped me a ton with like I remember like there was a week stretch where I stood next to him the whole game, every day of the week that I didn't pitch, and we would go over like each hitter and try to guess like what they're sitting, and like how they're what their approach is, and like what does it look like if they change, and like we discussed that with like Doug. Me and Doug discussed it a lot, me and Tommy. But it's also like learning different hitters, and like what happens if one changes, then you got to change your plan. So it's like understanding that too like helped me uh in the long run of the season to like pick up those to be able to stay going into the fifth and sixth innings.
Your draft class, I'm just amazed by how much you guys like to talk pitching and how smart all you guys are about it. Because I remember at Lake County, whether it was you or Tanner or Doug or whoever, just talking pitching. You guys are always talking pitching and bouncing stuff off of each other or competing.
We're
I'm just amazed at how much you guys have that group. Just have that level of conversation and that drive to talk pitching and how smart you guys are. I'm always impressed by that. What
yeah,
drives that?
how do, it's actually kind of crazy because I've never been around a group of guys that likes like studying pitching and like looking at other pitchers like as much as I do until I got here. And like every team I've been on, it's like we're constantly talking about pitching and like making it fun. Like it's not like boring conversations. And like, oh gosh, like we gotta talk pitching. But no, it's like actually fun because like you actually see things that somebody else may not see, or like vice versa. So I mean, we'll talk about it even in our apartments, just pitching. I mean, it's so fun, and especially when you're around a bunch of guys that like it as well, it makes it even more fun. So
Now, you guys have really embraced that culture that Cleveland has had for a decade now, almost of this pitching and development group that turns out a lot of good pitchers at the major league level. You guys just your class, especially, has seemed to jump into that culture and embody it a lot in your conversations. You mentioned Brad Goldberg, new bullpen coach. What do you got to say about Brad being the new bullpen coach for the major league team?
yeah, I mean, I don't think anybody deserves it as much as him. I mean, he knows. Not only does he like know the game extremely well from like back to front, but like just the way he like has a relationship with the players, and it's he's so easy to have a relationship with that it makes it like going to the field like even better. It's just like so easy to talk to him. Like you can go up to him, talk about pitching, and like he'll help you through it, even though like you may be struggling or you may be like dominating. Like he'll help you in what you're struggling in. So that's what's really nice with Brad.
Blew my mind. He's only been in this organization for I think 3 years now. So that the fact that
Mm-hmm.
he has gone from a guy who was kind of helping out in Arizona and just getting to know the organization. He was your guys' pitching coach last year in Akron, and now he's on the major league staff. That things move quick around here if you haven't noticed.
Yeah, quick.
uh, so you're talking about going to Driveline this offseason and working on looking at your mechanics and trying to do that the best, and there's velocity involved. And I was talking about pitching and prospects to another podcast last week, and I said, and I know you guys don't give a crap about prospect lists and other stuff like that, nor should you, but I feel like you get overlooked quite a bit, because if you stripped out like all the stuff that people would normally know about you, and they just looked at your numbers throughout the minors so far, you would look like one of the better pitching prospects in baseball based on your performance. And I feel like, all of us, maybe myself included, let velocity kind of bias that a little bit. But I mean,
Mhm.
do you feel like, you go a little bit underappreciated sometimes? Like, you've got a lot of talented players in this organization that are pitching next to, but when you stack up your resumes against the rest of these guys, your numbers are just as good as everybody else. And I feel like if people just looked at that alone, they would probably put you right next to those guys as well.
Yeah, I kind of quit worrying about that, and back in like,
Which is fair. You should.
yeah, college. I think like my mom, she like hammered it into me. It was like, hey, like don't care what they think. Like just don't worry about it. And I was like, and it would bug me. It would bug me like at most times, but now it's just like I don't even worry about it as much. I just want to go out there each and every start. I don't want to miss a start, and I want to get my innings, like, and I want to be able to help us win. Like I don't want to just go out there and if I give up one run in like 6 innings and we lose 1-0, am I happy? Like absolutely not. Like I want to win just as much. Like even if I was in rookie ball, I mean I'd be fighting to win. Like I don't want to lose as much as the next guy. So I mean, just as long as I can make every single start and stay on the field for my team, like that's all that matters. I could honestly quit caring about all like the other stuff. If I have to, I'll pitch like a old school pitcher, just straight command. Like I'm not a flamethrower.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, your numbers speak for themselves. They've been pretty good, so all that stuff should take care of itself, and you're pitching well, and you're feeling good. Obviously, you're hoping the knee pain has been gone away and all that. But as a guy who doesn't light up the radar gun, though, like, do you have to pitch a little bit differently? Like I think that is what makes you. We'll see what happens, how you feel with the Driveline stuff, but I enjoy. I remember Josh Tomlin at all when he pitched for Cleveland. Like, also a guy who maybe threw 91, 92, 93, but went out there and gave the team solid starts for years. Was one of their most
Mhm.
reliable pitchers, most respected pitchers. And personally, myself, I enjoyed watching him pitch. That's why I enjoy watching you pitch, because you're not out there just trying to gas guys with a fastball. You've got 4 good pitches. You've got command. What kind of approach do you take on the mound, though, with knowing that maybe in the back of your head, like, maybe you have a smaller margin for error than a Gavin Williams, who might be able to get away with throwing a fastball down the middle just in case he misses a spot?
Yeah. No, that's probably what makes it fun for me. That's why, because I gotta be like almost perfect with like every single pitch, and if I make a mistake, I end up like paying the price probably quicker than somebody else would. So like, just the fact that I have to be probably more perfect than say like next guy is it's what makes it fun and like drives me every day because there's nothing better than being more perfect than the other guy at the on the plate. So
Makes it more fun for you, not more pressure.
no, I actually yeah, I have a blast with it because there's sometimes where you fool people and you fool like some really good hitters and but there is sometimes where they get you and they don't make a mistake and those are the ones that you pay the price for.
Yeah, what have you learned the most about Double A hitters as you've moved up 3 levels now since you started? What's
They
the
can hit
biggest difference you're seeing?
they can hit a fastball real quick. And like I mean I had guys I mean I could miss a bat with ride and approach angle and like deception. But I mean when they're sitting fastball, they can hit the fastball. Or if it's a fastball count, they're not gonna miss the fastball. So just that and like actually being able to like command all 4 pitches like made me and probably made other hitters too like respect the off speed pitches that I can throw it whenever I want. So just like that part of it.
You've definitely gotten some ugly swings I've seen. I don't know if you've ended up on Pitching Ninja yet, but there's probably some pitches I've seen on MLB TV that you got some pretty ugly swings. Whether it was the curveball, the changeup, the slider. What do you think your best secondary is at this point? Is it? I know you talked a couple years ago about trying to get away from throwing the curveball too much.
Yeah, they ended up telling me the opposite, that I should throw it way more. And
No.
but I've been liking this split change a lot. That's kind of, it's almost, well, I guess you could say like my trio is like my fastball, curveball, changeup, because they all come out the same tonal, and just those three pitches like are collectively probably my go-tos.
Have you always done a split change? Is that kind of new?
I started it in Lynchburg,
Okay.
but it's
So
got
it's
a little.
always been.
It's gotten better for sure.
So what are you thinking about the upcoming season? Are you, you talked when you first came on, you're talking about how you don't realize like how close you are to being at the big league level, but just what are you trying to do coming into 2024, knowing that no one's rooting for anybody to get hurt, but you saw how quickly things happened last year with like a couple guys in the pitching staff got hurt, and you saw a couple of teammates you were drafted with move to the majors pretty quickly. So, what's your mindset going into the season? Just trying to know that you might be a couple calls away, and you might be starting in AAA. Like you are right on that footprint right up to the major leagues.
Yeah, right now I'm just trying to gonna show up every single day and do my job, not do too much or do too little, and I'm gonna show up, throw a baseball every day, work out almost every day, get my treatment in every day, just like the next guy. But I don't know. Um, think I don't know. At the end of the day, it's not in my hands. I don't have any control over it. So I just got to show up, do my job, and then I leave it up to them.
One more quick thing on some of the numbers from last year. I think people might look at, like we talked about fastball velocity a lot here, but guys who don't throw particularly as hard might be more prone to giving up home runs. You give up, I think, 6 last year. Yeah, 7 total. How do you keep the guys in the ballpark when maybe you're not a guy who lights up the radar gun? Like I feel like that's pretty impressive to me, because you were talking about a couple starts you made where guys were hitting rockets off you, and you weren't feeling your best, and guys who are sitting on a fastball can hit it, but the ball didn't go over the fence a lot last year when you were on the mound. So that's pretty impressive that you're able to keep him in the ballpark at least.
Yeah, I don't particularly know. I have yet to figure that, but um, I'll let you know though if I figure that one out on why, because I have yet to know. Some of the hits I think should be out, and some of the home runs I don't think should be home runs, but it's it's a weird game, and I'll let you know though whenever I figure it out, because
Yeah, I mean, Akron's got obviously a pretty big ballpark, so that might help a little bit. And I guess we'll see what happens when you get to Columbus. Just so you know, Columbus is a
is a
little
long.
less forgiving. Yeah, it's a launching pad for a lot of hitters. So I don't know. You might find out the other way real quick, but I am curious to see what happens there for you, because I mean, like I said, your numbers speak for themselves, and I think people who look at all the other stuff surrounding that and ignore just your resume, I think it speaks for itself. And it puts you on the list of guys who should be making their major league debut. Like I said, this year, depending on what happens next year. But you're awfully close, and that's exciting. And I've enjoyed watching you pitch these last couple of years just because of how you
Appreciate
go
it.
about it. Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. Real quick before I let you go and get back to the married life and hunting and video games and all that, I wanted to ask you some fun stuff. What did you guys like doing around Akron last year when you got there?
Oh man, think most of I think most of everybody went to Diamond Deli on the off days. I think that's the like. There's no question about it. That one was. If I go back there, that's probably the first place I'm going. So
I went to college at Akron, and I was telling my wife I was going to do this interview today with you, and I was like, guaranteed. I asked him favorite place to eat in Akron. He's going to say Diamond Deli. You guys all love Diamond Deli.
it's the best. I mean, it's just convenient, and it's right there, and it's fast, and it's really
It
good. So
is.
even better.
What about? I mean, are you just playing video games in your off time when you're at the
Yeah,
affiliate? You guys are living wherever. It's just video games or baseball, basically, or working out.
yeah, pretty much. Most guys go golfing. I try to golf, but I don't know. A lot of guys like I'm a hothead on the golf course, so I try to stay away from that as possible because I already get too mad on the baseball field. So I'd rather not
That
stay.
makes sense. There's a lot of guys who are good golfers, so it's tough, man. When you go out there and you're
Yeah,
golfing against somebody who's really good, you get mad that you're not as good as that person because
exactly. So I'm
you guys are
just
all athletes. You expect that of yourself.
so
Who do you enjoy playing video games with the most, whether it's Call of Duty or whatever? Who's the best teammate?
best like teammate on the video game.
Yeah, like who's your
Huh.
group that you can count on?
Probably Jake Miller, Davis Sharp, and this one's going to be a two-parter. This last one, it's either going to be Ethan Hankins or Hunter Stanley. Hankins is really fun because he gets extremely mad, and it's awesome. I highly encourage it every single time we play. I'll tease him. I'll instigate it at times. So
We need to get you guys like on a stream channel. Like,
no,
do you guys do any streaming? No, wouldn't look
it,
good.
I mean, I streamed before, but I may get back into it. But if I stream, it's not going to be with any of them.
What if you were like in a? I know I haven't really played Call of Duty. I usually do. I'm a Halo guy. That's just years ago. I used to play Halo and I still have it. But I know they still do zombies in Halo. Is that still a thing? Or
Zombies.
Call of Duty? I mean, sorry, Call of Duty.
Oh yeah, zombies are they just came out with one. I don't I don't know if it's as good as the previous, but I heard it's like all right. But I have yet to try it. But yes, they still have it. And it's
So if you were doing like it was like a real life zombie apocalypse, is that the same group you would want to
no,
have by
absolutely,
you? All right, who
absolutely
would that be?
not. That one would be it would be Anthony Ghost, 100%, and I'd probably take Joe Donovan. And who would be my fourth? I have to take David Fry, Louisiana boy. I gotta go to the South.
That's
I
fair. He's a
gotta
big dude.
yeah. I gotta stay
I,
down there.
I feel like Ghost is pretty muscular. He seems pretty intense, so that makes a lot of sense.
He can take care of everything, all the heavy lifting and everything. So
I'm sure. I'm
he lift
sure.
so he can do all that stuff.
Are you what do you got for your warm up music this year? You are identifying a song for the mound, or are you still working on that?
No, it's I think I'm gonna stick to the same one. Live Your Life by T.I. and Rihanna.
Okay, that's a good one. I feel good about that because I've asked some guys in the past, like Will Brennan and Logan Allen, and they told me their warm up music, and I'm like, I'm so old, I don't like. I'm only 35, but I'm like, I don't know those songs, man. So I'm glad you stuck with something I knew. So now
I'm a
I
big
feel less
fan of
old.
Rihanna. So I go all my walk up songs have been either Rihanna or Kesha or Baby. So all those.
Okay, I can respect that. Which of your teammates has the worst taste in music? Then, if you like all that stuff, who do you think has the worst taste in music?
It depends. I think Rodney Boone probably has like one of the worst ones I've ever seen. But Tommy listens to reggae to work out sometimes. Tommy Mace, and it drives me insane when I walk into the weight room.
Intense.
I cannot do it.
Like we're not talking just Bob Marley. We're talking like probably deeper cuts than Bob Marley.
Way down there, and I'll walk in and I'll go to his phone and I'll pause it, and I'll be like, you can change it or we ain't listen to anything.
No. So he's not controlling the music after you guys win a game in the clubhouse. Then,
He does. And
oh no,
at times where somebody went to him and told him to change it. But hey,
I,
sometimes he actually does play really good music. But when he turns on that other stuff, I'm out. I'm out.
I would be too. I don't know if I could necessarily do the reggae. I can listen to just about anything, but reggae might be a little bit, at least for a workout. That seems a very unique thing for sure.
Yeah, it's definitely a different type of workout music.
I would say so. All right, man. Well, let you get back to your off season. Enjoy the married life. I don't know much about hunting, but do good in hunting. Have fun out there. Stay safe. And
Sounds good.
what are
Y'all
you getting
have.
out to Arizona?
I'm here right now.
Oh, you're out in Arizona right now. Okay.
Yeah,
Man,
I'm
you
here.
guys are putting in the overtime already.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Enjoying the nice rain, I guess you could say, for these next 2 days.
Oh, rain. Well, you can come to Cleveland if you'd like. We just
Hard
got about
pass.
8 inches of snow over the weekend. Yeah, I'm sure you don't miss that.
I do not want any part of that.
Yeah. Well, if you start in Columbus, things are a little bit warmer. It's not as bad as Akron. I don't know. Akron's pretty cold in April. Yeah, and Lake County, as you know, is pretty cold in April, but Columbus is a little better. So
That would be nice.
yeah, we'll see what we can do about getting you started in Columbus. I think you're ready for it.
I appreciate it.
All right, man. Take it easy, and then we'll enjoy watching you pitch this year.
Appreciate it. You as well.
All right, take it easy.
Bye.